Welcome to another edition of Let That Sink In. Well, I'm your host, Don P. And I'd like to thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate you all that watch and like and comment and subscribe. I really do appreciate that. It means a lot to me. So let's get right into it. Today we're going to be talking about social media and the influence that social media has on society. You know, when you walk around, you just see people in their phones all the time. And to me, it's getting scary. It's getting disturbing how people are walking around like zombies in their phone. It's like, it's just people are just so infatuated with that phone. And as much as people look into their phones, I'm figuring, people should be well off because the amount of time that people put into looking into their phones, they should be looking at how to start businesses, how to better themselves, uh, how to better their situations. It shouldn't be anybody out here that's in bad situation as much as people looking at phone. People are always in that phone. But I guess that's just society that we have today. People are just they're just sinking into their bubble. And that social media is making people less communicable. They can't even hold conversations anymore because they don't have the human interaction with people and one another. It's getting sad. And when I look at the young people, and I know it's a different time and it's maybe normal to them, but I don't think that they really see the ramifications that this is going to have on their lives. And they're always in that phone. And but this is by design. This is not just by happenstance. This is by design, and this is what they wanted. This was part of the COVID experiment, is to detach people from one another, to send people to separate. It's another it's another it's another scheme of divide and conquer. That's what it is. It's all about power, supremacy, and money. That's what it all boils down to. A lot of people are losing social skills behind wanting to communicate through phones, and they're losing human interaction skills. You run into a lot of people that don't know how to express themselves so that well. And then when someone doesn't know how to express themselves, they get frustrated, and then that's where a lot of anger is coming from, because they say, "Oh, they don't understand me." No, because you don't know how to articulate yourself into explaining to people who you are, or your ideas, or your emotions, or whatever the case may be. You find a lot of people, their attention spans are decreasing because they have so much information at their fingertips that it's just they're being bombarded by all this information, and then it's like on to the next, trying to find out what it is, on to the next. What am I missing out today? Whatever the case may be, whatever it is that they're 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 looking at on their phones. What's trending right now. Everybody want to be in the know. So people are always looking into that phone, and they feel like they're missing out on something when they don't look in their phones. I mean, you got people that get up in the morning and go straight to their phone. Some of it may be business related, because you got people that do a lot of business through their phone. So it's imperative that they look at their phones. But then you got some people that pick up their phone and they go straight to social media and see or go to their text messages. And like I said, all of this is by design. And if you want to find out how this is and why this is in depth, I would like to recommend a movie that you would go see. You can look it online or Netflix or something. It's called The Social Dilemma, where they go deep. They do a deep dive into what it is social media was created for, and they have interviews with a lot of the developers that develop social media. And one of the things that they said is social media has gotten out of control and they don't even know how to control it. The AI has gone way beyond this. This wasn't even what they didn't expect it to be this far at this point. It's just snowballed into a big snowball that they can't control, and it's steady rolling. It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And if anybody's seen iRobot, if you remember, this is the same issue that they ran into with the mainframe computer on there that Will was trying to destroy, because it had gotten too powerful, and the AI it started thinking for itself. And they didn't need humans anymore. So, it was getting too powerful. And so that's why he wanted to inject those nanobites to give it a virus so it could shut it down. But if you go watch The Social Dilemma, you'll understand that concept even more. And I recommend that you go and watch that movie. It's a deep movie, and it really gives you a lot of insight on the ills of social media and why people are so entranced into social media, and why it has taken over a lot of people's lives. That AI technology and the information technology, they implemented this thing, what they call the algorithm. And what the algorithm does, it learns you. That artificial intelligence, that AI, it learns you. And it feeds into all your likes and your desires. So everything that you look at, everything that you like, everything that draws your interest, the algorithm is just like a big old spider web. It grabs anything that's related to those things that you like, or you desire, and it feeds it right back to you. It puts it in your news feed. In your feeds on your social media, and then you'll find certain things that'll pop up because of what you search. You might do a search on Google, and all this stuff is tied in together. You might do a search on Google, and it'll come up in your Facebook, on your Instagram, or into your Twitter, or your all those other social media. I don't keep up with all of them, so those names are just not out right on the top of my head. But yeah, those things will pop up. Just say you looking for a new car, and then you researching cars on there. Oh man, cars gonna come up all up on your social media. It's gonna give you different dealerships around you that have the car that you've been researching. It'll give you information. It'll show you pictures. It'll show you anything. Or if it's a certain celebrity that you follow, certain things will start coming up about that celebrity or that athlete, or whatever it is that you may be searching. Or you might be just searching for a pair of tennis shoes. Tennis shoes will just pop up on all your ads. Your Google ads. All this stuff is tied into each other because it's there to bombard your brain and to control your thinking and control. And it's gotten down to, like I said, on that Social Dilemma, they explain to you how it is designed to control your thinking and your emotions and your perception. It's there to do all that. So yeah, this is not by this is not by accident. This is was put here for a reason, right? You know, they have social media and the money that they spend on like marketing and how social behavior, human behavior, they know how the mind works, and they have invested so much money into this. They know how to persuade your thinking. They know how to show you. I'm gonna give you an example. Back, y'all remember when George Floyd got killed, right? And that period before he got killed, you know, there was a lot of stuff going around on social media about blacks getting shot by cops. It was a lot of videos coming out about that. They will bring up the old murders of Mike Brown, Trayvon Martin, Castro, I don't know, I don't remember his name. The Castro, the guy that got shot in his car with his baby and his girl in the car. And a lot of this stuff was to get you, amped up about that. And that's why everybody exploded during the George Floyd killing, because a lot of people didn't get that upset about Trayvon Martin. They didn't even get that excited and amped up about Tamir Rice. And these were innocent kids. But, you got mad about George Floyd, but because I think it was just people was like, enough is enough. But that was by design. And if you notice, you don't see those videos no more. You don't, and you think that cops killing blacks have stopped. But you don't see that going across the internet, flying across the internet. So they've hacked our brains and our perceptions, and that's how they mold our perception. So when you see that and it keeps going into your mind, you're seeing this every day. You're seeing this every day. You start to think that this is happening all the time. It's just like the news. If you watch the news every day, you would think the world is coming to an end, because all they focus on is the negative. You never really see a positive story on the news. Everything is negative. Who got shot? Who got killed? What house got robbed? What store got robbed? How bad the economy is? What this person did. It's all bad. And if you keep feeding your mind that, you will begin to begin to think that everything is bad, and it'll have you in fear to go places, because you think that all this stuff is going to happen because of everything that you see on the news. Now, I'm not saying that those things don't happen, but those are small, microscopic snapshots of what's really going on in real life. Now, what I want to say to you is about this. If you look at the news all the time, you think it's all bad. Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to show you how it molds your perception. If you keep looking at the news, you'll be like, oh, this, that, this, that. It's all bad. But I want you to go out there to the most prominent area of your city, whatever city you live in, and just ask the person in that area that, look like they're doing pretty well for themselves, pretty, probably financially well off, and ask them, is it all bad? I guarantee you they're going to tell you, no, life is good, because they don't dwell into those things that social media, and even though they may look at the news, but their life is telling them something different. It's telling them that life is good and a lot of opportunity out here. They're looking at, making money so they can do this with their families and take their families on vacation and experience life. And this is why you have to you have to tone down. You have to be cognizant of what you feed your brain. You have to really be cognizant of what you feed your brain. And I'm gonna give you another example. So I had a conversation with a friend of mine, and we were talking about this is in the height. I mean, it may still be hype, but I don't look at them anymore. So, like I say, my perception is different now because I don't know. I don't feed my mind that. But we were talking about reality TV, and the person that I was having a discussion with argued me down that was real. They argued me down that what they saw on reality TV was real. I tried to tell them, no, it's not. It's all scripted. It's all scripted. No. Then, I just had to give up because they wasn't willing to understand that or even accept that. So I let them go on and believe what they want to believe, and that's cool. You got the right to believe whatever it is that you want to believe. But I had tried to tell them that is scripted and that is not true. And another ill about social media is you got people running around here depressed. You got a lot of people running around here depressed because their lives doesn't look like the people that they see on social media, on Instagram, Facebook. And what a lot of people don't even understand, a lot of those people are living lies. That what you see on social media is not how they're living. That is borrowed stuff. Or some of it may be theirs. Don't get me wrong. It's not all borrowed stuff, but a lot of those people are empty on the inside. They're not happy with their lives, but they're trying to portray to you that they're living their best life. And I wish for them that they are living their best life, but I know for a fact that they're not. Not all of them. Some of them are, but a lot of them aren't. A lot of them aren't. I'm gonna give you another example. How I know how this is all by design. So there was a video shoot of a rapper. His name is some of you may know him, some of you may not. It all depends on. His name is Rich the Kid, and I had a buddy, and he had introduced me. So he was shooting a video, and the videographer, he wanted to use my car in the video, and he used another guy's car in the video, and because we had similar cars, they were different, but they were similar. They were the same model cars, and they used my car in the video. So we all there at the video shoot, and he's shooting the video or whatever. And after it was all done, I went on YouTube when they finally put it on YouTube. Went on YouTube and I looked at the comments, and one of the comments I saw was, he was like, one guy said, or one person, I don't know if it was a guy or not, but he said, "Oh man, he has some nice cars." And see, they don't even know that those cars were borrowed. Now, Rich the Kid has money now. But at that time, he was an up-and-coming rapper. And he didn't have those type of resources at the time. And he used them. Nothing wrong with that. That's how videos been for a lot of time. Still to this day. A lot of stuff you see in those videos are not owned by a lot of those people. A lot of those things that you see, and when I was telling you about when you look at Instagram or whatever and you see people with stuff and it's not there, some of that stuff be leased. A lot of that stuff, some of that stuff be borrowed. Yeah. So, but you got people out here depressed because they can't live that life that they see on videos, on Instagram, social media. And people are going out there taking people's stuff, taking people's lives, taking their stuff to try to live that life. Scamming is at an all-time high. People are trying to scam people out of money so they can try to live this life that they see on social media. I mean, it's getting to a bad point in life. And it's getting to the point where, like I said, people are always in that phone and they really thinking this is reality. And it's not. It's getting sad. A lot of that stuff you see on TV is fabricated. It's entertainment. It's there to entertain you, but it's also there to subliminally influence you. I remember back in the day, back when people used to go to movies, I found out that back in the day they used to have movies. Before the movie would start, they would have the stuff that they would have. They would show movies that's coming out, and then they would show this scene where they would show you all of this like drinks, popcorn, food, and everything. That's to get into your mind and tell you that you're hungry so you can go out to the concession stand and go buy something. But this is what they used to do before they came out with that. They would show different things before the pre-movie setup. They would have things and they would put in. Now, if you know anything about film, they have frames and they go by real fast. That's what creates the movement. So in the frame, they would put food. Now, you couldn't see it with your eye because that film is going so fast that you can't see it with your eye, but your brain is picking up on it subliminally. And then you will all of a sudden want popcorn or, drinks or candy or whatever it is that they would have at the concession stand. And then they got found out about this, so they stopped them. And that's why they have that little segment on there where they see, where they say Coke and, all these different products that they want you to come to the concession stand and buy. It's all about programming your mind, trying to get you to influence your mind subliminally. And that was amazing to me when I found that out. And those are type of things that, because they understand how the mind works. And now they got this thing out called the metaverse. And this is gonna be interesting. They introduced it like recently. It hasn't really caught on real big yet, but this is what people are going to. People are going to start living their lives through avatars. Yes, I said living your lives through avatars, living a fake life, living through virtual reality, which is fake. That's why today, fake is the new real. That's why you don't really find people that are really genuine and stuff anymore, because fake is accepted now. And it's easier to be fake than it is to be real, because no one's really happy with themselves. They are really empty on the inside, and social media gives them the opportunity to try to live out these lives that they wish that they were living when they're not, right? So, you have to understand, social media is programming you subliminally, and they are influencing your consciousness and your subconsciousness. So you have to understand that. And if you understand that, you can kind of like look at things. Hopefully you can use your brain and you can look at those things and say, why are they showing me this? Why is this shown like this? And why is this shown at this time? You know, um, I don't know if you watched any of my earlier videos, but if you watched any of my earlier videos, I make the reference to the mind is the most powerful thing on earth. The mind, the human mind is the most powerful thing on earth because that is where everything that you see has came from. It came from a vision. And if you're a spiritual person, you know everything is developed into the spiritual world first before it comes into the physical world. So, that's why the bid for your mind is so it is what they're after. It's because they know if they can control your mind, then they control you. It was also said that whoever controls the media controls the people because the media shapes your thinking, it shapes your perception, it shapes how you think, it shapes your emotions, especially if you're an emotional person. It can effectively control your thinking, your mind, uh if you watch these things on a consistent basis. And like I said before, everything has a good and a bad side because social media, see, you could look at something and you can be influenced to be like, I want that, or this, that, another, and you could take the wrong route, and you could say you could go out there and try to steal to get things or whatever, or try to get it or whatever, or looking at it can motivate you. It can motivate you and it can get you motivated to get those things and do it the right way also. So like I said, it's a balance. It's a good, anything that's here has a good and a bad side. It all depends on how you use it. Because like I said, if you remember what I said before, I said, if people are looking at their phones this much, they should be the most informed and most educated. So, if you looking at your phone and social media, there are things in social media that tries to train you and teach you how to be a successful person, start a business, or get your life together, or be a better parent, a better friend, a better relative, whatever. So it's those type of things out there as well. So it's not all bad. It all depends on how you use it, right? Because everything has a good side and a bad side. It all depends on how you use it and what you feed your mind. Because when you look at social media, you could just look at all positive things. You could put all positive things into your algorithm that the algorithm will keep drawing and throwing positive things to you. That's what, when I get on social media, that's what I mainly try to do. I usually look at things that's going to empower me, that's going to educate me, that's going to motivate me. And, like I said, to keep things balanced, I look at things that make me laugh too. I love to look at things that make me laugh on there, that keeps me laughing or whatever, because laughter is good for the soul. You need it, so you don't crash out. You don't just be just all serious, all serious. It's no fun if you just all work and no play, right? Yeah, like I said, you can feed your mind positive things on social media. You can train your mind with social media to be prosperous, and you can train your mind to be, a positive person and not negative. So if you're going to be on social media, try to get yourself with a lot of positive things, as well as the other things that are trying to attack your mind and trying to take over your mind and have you in a certain state of mind. Like I said before, COVID was part of that, trying to separate you from human interaction, to try to get you to get ready to get in. It is the walkway into the virtual reality world. Because just think about this. If they come out with something and then you had to be in your house, what was COVID? We were in COVID, what, about 1.5 years? And people almost lost their mind. They wanted to get back out because this is our normal behavior. We are creatures that are here to have interaction with each other. We're not here to be separated. That's just our human nature. Oh, but so just say you had to go back into the house for 2 years. How would you live your life? How would you interact with one another? You probably do what? FaceTime. You'd be on your phone. But this is how they're gonna usher in this virtual reality, this metaverse. And I seen a demonstration of the metaverse. They had people sitting at the table talking to each other like they were really like humans. I'm like, this is crazy. That was crazy to me. And that was just something that I just can't see myself living like that. And that is another thing that probably could depress people, because they're not going to have human interaction, and that's important. And you really don't really understand how important that is until it's taken away from you. A lot of y'all didn't understand how privileged you were until it was taken away from you with that COVID. That COVID, it was something serious, So what I'm saying is, we have to have full completion of human communication. It is important for us to talk with one another, not just on the phone or FaceTime or anything like that, because we have to feel people's energy. We have to look at people's verbal communication. We have to look at people's body language to get the full spectrum of what they're saying and how they're saying it, their emotions, their facial expressions, to get the full scale of human communication. Like, for example, I remember I was texting someone, and they took it totally different from the way I said it. Because what it was is, because words have no emotions. They have no energy. So when you read something, that's why books become number one sellers, because the writers know how to set you up and build you up into feeling a certain way. This is what I'm telling you about when they are taking over your perception. So if I write you a text and you're perceiving that I'm upset or I'm mad or something, you're going to read it like I'm speaking with mad energy or something, when that could be totally different from the way that I said it. I could have just been sending in a monotone. And so the perception of how they think that you're speaking to them is how they're going to read that text. And this is why we can't get rid of human interaction, because we speak in different ways, just not verbally. Like I said, we speak with body language. We speak with facial. You know how people say, you can't hide how you feel. Your face says it all, written all over your face, and all those type of things. Yeah, because we speak, we get vibration. We're we're just a big ball of energy that's in a body, and we can feel somebody's energy when we speak to them, or we talk to them. So we need the full scale of human communication. This is how we were made, to have human interaction. One thing I want to say is, if you're looking at this, I would like you, and if you have kids or just friends, just try to reach out to them and have human interaction, and cut down on some of the social media that you look at. Just cut back on it, because I'm telling you, it's there to make you a robot, to where you don't even think. Why you think so many people are dumbed down now? Because now they just depend on that phone for everything. People can't even remember people's phone numbers anymore, because we depend on our phone so much. That phone, it was a whole totally paradigm shift. It's a paradigm shift. It shifted everything. People went from talking to one another, having dinner together. The worst thing I could see is when I go to a restaurant or something, and I see maybe a couple, or I see a family, and everybody's on their phone. I'm like, what in the world is going on? That is the craziest thing I ever seen. Talk to one each other. Put that phone down. I know you see those commercials, or where the family is having dinner and the mom takes all the phones and she puts them up, because she wants everybody to talk. She wants everybody to get in tune with one another, especially with couples. When I see a couple sitting at a table and both of them on the phone, that's the most saddest thing I ever seen in my life. I was like, oh Lord, that's they about to be doomed, because they're gonna lose all. In a relationship, communication is the most important thing of a relationship. So if you lose communication, you pretty much lost the relationship. And all I want to say is, have somebody that you could talk to on a consistent basis, to keep that human interaction going with one another. Go have healthy conversation with somebody face to face. Be fully engaged with them. Try to limit that time on social media. Uninstall some of those social media apps on there and limit them. I know it's going to be hard for some of you, but limit it down to maybe one or maybe two. Don't have 3, 4, 5, 6. Don't have that. Don't do that, because I'm telling you, it's gonna negatively affect you, unless you are using those social media apps or whatever for business, or you're using them to get positive information. If you're using them for positive information, then okay, that's fine. That's fine. But if you're just looking on it to see what this person is doing, or what this person is doing, and this person got on, or what they're doing, or what they're driving in, or what they supposed to be living in their house, and you leave that alone. You leave that alone. The algorithms on social media, they play into your ego. They play into your ego, your character, your insecurity, and anything you feed it. It feeds into that. So like those, for example, those filters, those were specifically made for the insecurities that people have in their lives, to try to change their features. This is why the body augmentation for the women has gotten so popular, because people are not happy with themselves. People may try to put on them with that smile and everything, and they try to act like they're happy and living their best life. But I'm telling you, people are if you talk to people, because see, I talk to people. I'm a conversationalist. When you talk to people, you could just, if you know how to communicate and you can listen well, you're a great listener. You can hear the pain in their voice sometimes. They'll tell you, hey, what's going on? Oh, I'm doing all right. Everything is all good. But if you have a conversation with them, you'll hear that pain start to come out, you know. And it's just, it's sad that it has to be that way. But, that's the way it is. And, unless we change our thinking and change how we use these social media sites, it's going to continue to be that way. But unless we change the way we look at these sites, we can change our lives, because we're in control of our lives. If you don't let them control it, you be in control of your life. Like I told you before, what you feed that algorithm, you can feed that algorithm things to feed your insecurities, and it'll give it right back to you. Whatever you feeding it's gonna give it back to you. The algorithm, it just builds on you. It just figures you out. I'm telling you, go look at the movie The Social Dilemma. It's crazy. I mean, a lot of that stuff I already knew, but it's good to listen to how they break it down, so it'll make more and more sense to you, to where you can figure out what it is that they're doing. You know. So what I want you to do is, I want y'all to take back control of your minds. Don't let social media take over your mind. It's your life. And I want you to live it the way you want to live it, and what makes you happy. Don't look out there and try to see what everybody else is doing and think that that's happiness, because you're going to find out that you're going to waste time trying to find somebody else's happiness, and you'll never be happy, and you'll be running around here still depressed, trying to figure out why you feel the way that you feel. It's because of this media. Why you think it's only 3 major media companies in the world? Because it's a fight for your mind. And all I say is, don't live your life through social media. Stop posting everything on social media. Everything ain't to be told. Everything ain't to be shown. You got people, you got women, men too. You got women out here degrading themselves, trying, showing their bodies or whatever for likes. Likes has substituted love. People think likes is love now. And people are selling their souls for likes. And that's a terrible day that we come into, when someone is selling themselves for likes and comments. And another thing I wanna ask you. If you look at the internet, you look at what they call internet people that have internet pages or whatever. They might even try to label me as this, but what I'm saying is, what they say, content creators. When they say you're a content creator, what do they call them? What is the other name that they call them? That they label them as? Influencers. They're telling you right there why everyone is on the internet. Because they're there to influence you. They are influencers. They call them influencers. They are there to influence you to act and react a certain way, think a certain way, feel a certain way, and those type of things. Like, I'm a content creator. I'm an influencer. I consider myself a motivator though, because I want to motivate you. I want you to motivate you to to go to higher heights, to elevate yourself. That's why I say have mind elevation there. I want you to elevate your mind. I want you to become greater. I want you to become that great person that God made you to be. And the only way you're going to do that is if you renew your mind. If you just take control of your mind and don't let social media take control of your mind. So I'm going to end it with this, and I'm going to say this. I'm going to take control of your mind. Take back control of your mind. I said, it's your life. Trust me. I'm going to tell you this. Trust me. Some people would love to be in the position that you're in, right? Because you know how I know that? Because you would love to be in somebody else's position too. That's why you look at social media, because you see all these other lifestyles. You say, oh, and I'm not saying that as putting you down or saying it derogatory. I'm saying we see people out there that's living good, and we be like, why can't I live like that? Or I would like to live like that. You know, that's why I know people would love to be in the position that you are. So don't take your life for granted. I'm not saying, that you're looking to have somebody else's life enviously. I'm just saying those are motivational images that we see of people that we say, man, I wish I could live like that. I wish I could just experience that one day. I wish I could be at that point where I could help my family, or I could help this person, or I can help these people, or I can help this community. Those are motivational things. So like I said, everything isn't bad. But what I want you to do is enjoy your good life. And this is my last point, and I'm going to leave you with this. So I'm going to read it to you. Most people have a wonderful life. However, most never realize it until it's too late. Don't take your blessings for granted. Stop and smell the roses. Life is short, so be grateful for everything, even the hard times, because they teach us many things. And be grateful for the good times, and be grateful for everything. And I'd like to thank you for watching again. And if you get anything out of this, I just want you to get this out of it. Understand what social media is, cut back on it, and take your mind back. And use it only as motivation, and use it for positive influence. I'd like to thank you. Thank you for joining me. I'd like you to like, comment, subscribe to this, and share it. I want you to share it with people, because you never know who needs to hear this. Everything happens for a reason, and you never know. This might be right on time for somebody. And I'm quite sure it's probably right on time for you too. And I would like to ask y'all to, go back and look at some of my older videos. So if you need some motivation, or you just need some, some positive reinforcements going on in your mind. So, like I said, I'd like to thank you. Thank you for watching. And hopefully I'll see you again. Peace. You see the light?